Donald Trump just wrapped up his rally that he was having in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania today, and as expected, it was really bad. It was just awful. And as we've spoken about on this channel before, Donald Trump and the Republicans haven't really figured out how to attack Vice President Kamala Harris, but we know the line of attack that Donald Trump is going with based off this rally today. It's just being incredibly racist and misogynistic toward her. No policy disagreements, just personal attacks. So I have some clips from this rally to show you. They're all really bad. But the first one I want to start with is actually Donald Trump's lawyer, Alina Haba, opening the rally, speaking before Donald Trump came out. And she just made a really gross remark about Vice President Kamala Harris. Take a look.
I am a strong woman, a mom, a lawyer, and an American. And unlike you, Kamala, I know who my roots are. I know where I come from. And I don't play around with the Constitution.
Yeah, you know, she practiced that line in the mirror the night before, and she messed it up. You know, she goes, I know who my roots are. What? Come on, at least get it right. You practice it, you know, the day before, and she messed it up. But first things first, her name is Kamala. Kamala. I don't know why Republicans have such a difficult time with pronouncing her name, but they just can't get it right. Either they're just unable to pronounce words correctly, or they're doing it on purpose. I think both are equally as likely. I don't know. I don't know with Alina Haba these days. But what a really gross remark. The idea that Kamala Harris doesn't know, you know, what her roots are and where she came from is very clearly like racist and disgusting. And, you know, Republicans are just having this very difficult time understanding that Kamala Harris is biracial. One of her parents, her mother came from India, her father came from Jamaica. And so she is biracial. She is both Indian and black. And Republicans just can't seem to fathom that. They can't understand that. And so they have to say, well, you don't know what you are. You don't know where you came from. You can't be both. And it's like, well, there are actually a lot of Americans out there who are biracial. So I guess, you know, the Republicans didn't know that. They're learning something today. So good for them. Good for them. But it's just a really gross remark from Alina Haba. Oh, and by the way, Kamala Harris was born in America. She's an American. She came from America. That's where she came from, Alina Haba. My God. It's so disgusting and so reprehensible what these Republicans have been saying about Kamala Harris in the past week or so. It's just they don't have anything on her, so they have to resort to stuff like this. So in addition to that insanity, Donald Trump came on stage, decided to start speaking to the crowd, and he added to the personal attacks toward Vice President Kamala Harris. Take a look at this part of his speech where he suggests that Kamala Harris wouldn't be able to deal with dictators around the world because she's a woman. Seriously, take a look.
This crazy border czar of ours is letting into America. By the way, can anybody imagine her as, in all fairness, we want to be politically correct and all that, great, who cares? Can anybody imagine her dealing with President Xi of China, who's a fierce individual, fierce person?
Yeah, he really said that. He goes, you know, I gotta be politically correct. I can't be not politically correct. And then proceeds to say, can you imagine Kamala Harris dealing with Xi of China? I mean, he's prefacing that by saying I have to be politically correct because he's referring to her gender, right? He's referring to her gender. If he wasn't, he would just say, you know, I think Kamala Harris is X, Y, and Z for this reason, right? But he's not doing that. He's basically trying to play into the worst instincts of his crowd, having them be, you know, skeptical about a woman in a leadership position. By the way, there have been plenty of women in leadership positions around the world and in history who have been terrific. I'm not expecting many of these folks in the crowd to know that and know basic world history, but that's what Trump is trying to do there. He's trying to rile up the crowd based on the fact that she is a woman. And by the way, I don't know about you. Actually, I think I might know your feeling here. I would trust Kamala Harris in a room with Putin or Xi or Kim Jong-un infinitely more than I would trust Trump in that room. By the way, Trump's own former national security advisors used to say that these leaders would laugh at Trump, that they knew that they could take advantage of him. Nikki Haley said that Donald Trump got weak in the knees when he would meet with Putin or Xi of China. Nikki Haley, somebody who used to work in Trump's administration. So you think, I'm going to take Kamala Harris, the tough, former district attorney, prosecutor, senator, now vice president, to take on these dictators around the world than someone like Donald Trump, who bows down to dictators, writes love letters to Kim Jong-un, tells Putin that he's great and so smart, and compliments Xi of China for ruling with an iron fist. Yeah, give me Kamala Harris in these rooms as opposed to Donald Trump, who will just bow down to every single one of them. So, insanity. But this is the Trump campaign now. These are the kind of attacks that they're rolling with. So the next clip I want to show you is, I guess I'm going to ask you to pay attention to two things in this clip. Number one, pay attention to what Donald Trump is saying about America in this clip, just kind of trash talking our great country. And then number two, pay attention to the crowd in the background, because people are getting really bored really quickly, and it's quite funny to watch. Take a look.
States is weak and ineffective and no longer respected. We are no longer respected. We are a failing nation. I mean, it's horrible. You don't want to say it. I wish I didn't have to say it. I wish I could say they're doing a phenomenal job. I wouldn't run. I wouldn't run. I wouldn't have to run. I would be very happy to have somebody do a phenomenal job. I wouldn't have to run, and I'd be very happy with that. I'd be proud of our country. But right now, our country is a joke. It's being laughed at all over the world. The truth is, Harris and Biden's weakness is inviting every rogue enemy worldwide to absolutely get away with murder.
So did you catch some of those faces in the background? I mean, here's a screenshot from that clip where he was just speaking. Just look at these folks in the background. You have the guy in the gray shirt on the top left. He's looking somewhere else. You have the people on the right in the Trump hats. They're having their own conversation. Your man is sitting right behind Donald Trump in the Trump hat. Is staring off in the distance. He doesn't know what's going on. And then that lady on Donald Trump's right arm with the MAGA hat behind him, which kind of looks like Marjorie Taylor Greene, is just staring off into the distance as well. These people are bored. They are sick of hearing about Donald Trump's grievances with the world and him trash talking America and his rambles that go on for hours and hours. It's like, God, you'd rather watch paint dry, wouldn't you, than be at a Trump rally. These people are bored, and they are his cult members. They love Donald Trump, and they're even like, when do I get to go home? You know what I mean? They're not having a good time. So it's just really funny to watch his own supporters kind of like drift into sleep. But the second thing I want to say about this clip, and I think, more disgustingly, is the way he talks about America. Governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, has been hitting Donald Trump on this recently, saying, stop talking America. I'm sure you can fill in the blank. Stop talking America. Stop talking trash about America. We're the greatest nation on earth. We have amazing people, an amazing democracy, amazing people in government like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Stop trash talking America. We have a great economy as well. Come on. We're the strongest nation in the world. And Donald Trump goes out there and says, well, we're a failing nation. We're so terrible. Everybody should panic. Our nation's in decline, yada, yada, yada. Stop talking bad about America. Stop it. Donald Trump doesn't love America. He loves himself. He loves himself and his family. Well, I mean, maybe not. He loves himself and his money, I should say. That's what Donald Trump likes. He likes power. And that's why he's running to be president of the United States. And he has to go with talking points like this to anger the base, saying, yeah, America's terrible now. No, it's not. No, it's not. Stop trash talking America. Vice President Kamala Harris and her eventual VP nominee, along with the Biden administration, are the people who love this country and wake up every day and fight for this country. Donald Trump wakes up every day and fights for himself. That's the difference. That's the 2024 election. Now, I only have one last clip to play you. It's really short, but I'm playing this more for comedic effect because this one is just too perfect, and I just got to show you. It's only 6 seconds, so take a look.
Wasn't tough on crime. She's only tough on guys like me because they want to go after their political opponents, and we want.
Yeah, he just said she wasn't tough on crime. She was only tough on guys like me. Right over his head. Just right. He didn't even see it coming. Just right over his head. He doesn't even see the irony there. Yeah, you're right. Kamala Harris was tough on guys like you, Donald. Fraudsters, predators, criminals. Yes, you're absolutely right. Kamala Harris was absolutely tough on guys like you, and she will continue to be tough on guys like you, especially this November at the ballot box. It just went right over his head. He didn't even see it coming. Oh, man, he's so oblivious. The lack of self-awareness is always astounding, isn't it? Anyway, that was Donald Trump's rally in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania today. Another mess, another disaster, but that's just another typical day in the Trump campaign. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Also drop a like on the video and comment. Let me know what you think about Trump's rally. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.